fancy for today. We'll keep it simple. Awesome. And then once you find a seat, just like place one shin in front of the other. See if you can sit up just a little bit taller. Broaden your collarbones just a little bit more. Maybe even take a moment to just shrug your shoulders up, create a little more tension that you are aware of on the inhale. And a breath out to let them soften and fall on your exhale. Let your eyes gently close or just soften your gaze. Notice the natural rhythm of your breath. You might even bring one hand to your belly or to your chest just to find like a physical anchor into this present moment. As you breathe in, notice expansion. And breathe out, finding ease. And just a rise and a fall, nice and slow. And take both hands to your knees here. And just on the inhale, stand up or sit up rather, a little bit taller as you breathe in. You can keep your eyes closed, nothing fancy. Chin to your chest. Feel the back of your neck leans in. And then slowly roll right ear over to the right. Back through center, left ear over to the left. And back through center. Start to lift your chin, lift your face. Open through the front of the throat. So nice. And then slowly come back to center, back to neutral. And just drop your right ear over to the right. So a different stretch. If you want, you can even reach your left fingertips away from that sensation. Just to find a different one. And then come back to center. And then left ear, tip it over to the left. Maybe reach your right hand away from that stretch. And come back to center. Look over your right shoulder. Back to center. Look over your left. So nice. And then back to center. Interlace your fingers and start to flip your palms forward. Almost press away from you. And see if you can round your upper back like cat. Drop your chin to your chest. Keep that. Reach up and overhead. Keep that clasp. Maybe even look up towards your hand. Breathe in. Awesome. And then release the hands down. Walk your hands forward. Maybe in tabletop pose. Hands and knees. So still keeping that strong, steady awareness of your breath. I really want you to see if you can take your time as we connect two different shapes together. Or multiple shapes together when we start to move a little more. So take a breath in nice and slow, drop the belly, lift the tail, lift the chin, feel the chest drawing forward, finding cow. And then as you exhale, find the opposite, round your upper back, drop your chin to your chest. Do that one more time. Inhale, slowly find cow. And exhale, round into cat, linking that slow movement with a slow breath. Coming back to neutral. Send your right leg behind you. Let it float. And if you want a little bit more here, send your left hand forward. Finding a little bit of a balance, maybe a little wobble, a little more challenge. Take a breath in. And then as you exhale, think about elbow and right knee coming together. You round in and contract. Do that one more time. Inhale, pull apart. Exhale, draw in. So nice. Now pull apart. And send your left hand back down onto the ground. Tuck your right toes onto the ground, straight back behind you, and just press back through your right heel. Get that stretch in the calf muscle. And start to spin that right heel down. You can even start to kick your left toes slightly out towards the left for a little support. And either left hand stays on your mat or comes to a block, any height that you wish, and then reach the right hand up, just finding a modified side plank. Awesome. And then reach your right hand forward. So right arm comes alongside your ear. That feels good. Take one more breath in as you press down through the right foot, reach through the right hand. And then as you exhale, slowly rise up, arms out like a T. Drop the right hand down, left arm rises, gate pose. So more length in that left side. Take one more breath in, look up maybe. And then exhale, cartwheel the hands, come back to that tabletop pose. One round of cat-cow. Slow breath in to lift the heart. Slow exhale to lift the upper back, drop your head. Coming back to neutral and then right to the other side. Left leg, kick it back, hold tight. If you want a little more, right hand, reach it forward. Like opposing forces here. Pull it away, breathe. On your exhale, curl in. One more like that. Inhale, pull it apart. So nice. And then exhale, draw it in, just creating a little more heat. Breathe in, reach it apart. Right hand comes down, tuck the left toes onto the ground, press back through the heel. Now you get to spin that left heel down, maybe kick the right toes out a little behind you, and either hand stays, right hand stays, or comes to a block, left arm will rise. And reach the left arm over your ears, you press down through the left foot. Awesome. Take one more breath in, get a little bit longer. And then as you exhale, slowly come up, drop the left hand down the leg, right arm will rise for full gate pose. One more big breath in. And then cartwheel the hands down, tabletop pose. One more round of cat-cow here before we add on. Take a breath in, lift through the chest. Exhale, round into cat pose. Come back to neutral, walk your hands up your thighs and just step your right foot forward, coming into a lunge. Now press your right hand into your right thigh or right by your right knee. So not on your kneecap, of course, but just a place like where you're pressing down into a table. I want you to find that here and then reach the left arm straight up alongside your ear. Now think about as you press down through that left knee, can you reach up through your left fingertips? So you're allowing the front of that left hip to get a little bit longer, especially if you're someone who sits in a chair all day or you've been walking a lot. We pick our knees up into flexion, so our hips are in flexion so often. And rarely do we take the time to lengthen it out. So do that now. Take one more breath in. And then as you exhale, bring your hands down inside your right foot. Now this time, start to turn your left toes over to the right. And maybe even wiggle walk that right foot a little closer towards your right hand. Rise up to a modified warrior two. So your knees are bent, that right knee still at a 90 degree, and then reverse here. Right hand will rise. Find a modified side angle, forearm to your thigh, left arm maybe alongside your ear. So another way to stretch out the front of that hip, even the side of the hip. Notice it. Take one more breath in. And then back to those warrior two like arms. And start to then come back to a tabletop pose. So you're just going to swing that right leg around, come back to tabletop. Like I said, nothing fancy. I mean, maybe not the most beautiful transitions, but I want you to send that right leg behind you for a moment like you did before. But then start to bend the right knee, and you'll snug that right knee behind the left. Take your feet a little bit wider, and then think about like child's pose. You are pulling your hips back and then let your head drop down. So it's not obviously as deep as child's pose, but it's the sensation or different sort of sensation in the hips with the knees crossed. So just stay here for one breath in. Big breath out. And then you'll rock back forward. Send that right leg back behind you just for a moment. And then set the right knee back down. Reset with a cat-cow. Breathe in, lift the heart. Connect with the breath as you exhale, round into cat pose. Coming back to neutral. You'll walk the hands up the thighs and step the left foot forward. So press your left hand into that space, like right by your knee, like you were pressing into a table, and then reach the right hand up. Awesome. So opposing forces here, think about right knee, right fingertips. Like you were pulling them away from one another, allowing that right hip to lengthen as a result. One more big breath in, maybe take the chin up, look up. And then exhale, bring the hands down inside the foot or to a block, whatever you need. And then start to send your right toes over to the left behind you. Wiggle walk that front foot if you need to, readjust your knee. And then come up to that modified warrior two on your knees. And then reverse here, left hand rises, forearm to your thigh, right arm over your ear. So lots of different things happening here in both hips. Maybe just notice it. Breathe into it. Take one more full inhale. And then as you exhale, arms go back long. And you can take your hands down, come back to that tabletop pose. Take a moment to reset. Send your left leg back, hip height. Bend the knee first, and then snug it behind the right. Take your feet a little wider apart. Pull your hips back, and then drop your head down. So you're like curling in, but think about your seat almost driving back. Obviously, it won't find the ground, but it's that action of pulling back that can intensify the stretch. If you need to back off, rock forward. One more full breath in right here. Find that ease on your exhale. So nice. And then slowly come back forward. Send that left leg behind you. Set the left knee down. A round of cat-cow. Again, lift through the heart. Breathe in. Exhale, press into the hands, round as you exhale. Come back to neutral. Now you have a choice here. If you'd like to take down dog, tuck your toes, float your knees, and then send your hips up and back, but keep your knees bent. So it's not about how your heels can ground into the earth. I would rather you bend the knees, find more strength in the arms, more length in the low back. You're not here long. Take a full breath in. Open up your mouth, big exhale. And then walk your hands back towards your feet. You'll land in a forward fold. So if you stayed in that tabletop pose instead of down dog, you'll just tuck your toes, lift your seat, and drop your head into that fold. So shake your head. Yes. No. Bend your knees a lot, and then just slowly think about one vertebra at a time, rolling all the way up to stand. Once you're there at the back of your mat, shrug your shoulders on the inhale. Flip your palms forward, feel the collarbones broaden, and then drop them down as you exhale. Stay here. Take a breath in through your nose. Maybe open your mouth, let out a sigh. Might feel good. And start to bring your hands to your hips here. So shift your weight into the left foot and start to bring your right knee up hip height. So you're creating like a 90-degree angle with that right knee. So right away, you might feel a little wobbly, totally okay. Just come back in if you fall. And then you're asking that right hip to do a little more work. If you want to intensify, press your right heel forward. A lot more work. Try not to tip back. Take one more breath in, maybe even reach your hands up. Somehow it like helps. And then you'll take one big step forward with that right foot. Land in a high lunge. So the right foot is forward. Back heel is lifted. Right hand presses into the thigh. Left arm reach it up, just like you did when you were on the ground. Maybe even soften that left knee. Bend it a little more. See what happens. Now reach up through your left fingertips. Take one more big breath in. Now open up to warrior two. So we're just taking like the higher pathway. Reverse here, right hand rises. Side angle, forearm to your thigh, left arm over your ear. See if you can lengthen both sides of your torso. One more big breath in. So nice. And then back to warrior two. Straighten the legs and reach the arms up, parallel the feet. And then exhale, fold forward. Nice and easy. You can soften the knees, drop your head, shake it yes, no. Move the jaw around to release tension there. And start to find a halfway lift here. Big breath in. Hands will walk underneath your shoulder. And then see your right foot. Frame it at the top of your mat. Low lunge. Now, if you'd like, you can take your block underneath your left hand. And if you want to twist here, right hand will reach up towards the sky. So nice. Take one more inhale right here. And then exhale, reach your right hand back forward, drop it down, drop the left knee down. Now you'll reach both hands up to the sky. Big breath in. Right knee comes to meet the left. Hook thumbs overhead, elbows wide, lift the chest. Release it, walk the hands back forward, tabletop pose. So nice, you're almost there. Take a breath in, lift the heart, cow, and then exhale, press into your hands, round your back, cat. Now again, last time here to find downward facing dog. If you want to stay on your knees, stay on your knees. If you want a little more to find that down dog, tuck your toes, hips go up and back. Bend your knees a lot to feel your low back lengthen out here. Take a full breath in. Open up your mouth. Sigh it out. And then you can walk your hands back towards your feet. Widen the stance of your feet if you need to. Let the head drop. Bend the knees a lot. Slowly roll all the way up to standing. Shrug your shoulders once you're there. Breathe in. Flip the palms forward and then let them fall. Awesome. Taking a breath in through your nose. Open your mouth. Oh. Bring your hands to your hips. Shift the weight into the right foot. And now it's the left knee that picks up, hip height. Get your bearings, maybe stare at one steady point in front of you. If you want an added challenge, press the left heel forward to turn the quad, the hip on a little bit more. Maybe even reach the hands high. Take a full breath in. Look forward, step your left foot there. So your back heel is lifted. Back knee is bent. Or both knees are bent. And then press your left hand into your thigh. Right hand reaches up. So you're asking that right hip to get even longer as you reach through the right fingertips. One more big breath in to find it. And then open up to warrior two. Your left toes point forward, left knee bent. Reverse warrior here, left hand rises. Side angle, forearm to your thigh, right arm alongside your ear. Keep pressing down through that right foot, the back foot. One more inhale. Back to warrior two. Straighten the legs, parallel the feet, reach arms high. And then fold forward. Nice and big, wide leg, forward fold. Shake the head. Yes. No, take any movement. Maybe bend one knee, then the other. Walk the hands when you're ready underneath your shoulders, thinking halfway lift here. Frame your left foot at the top of your mat. So finding this lunge. I like to bring a block underneath my right hand to create more space to find that twist. So left hand will rise, right hand stays. Big breath in. Reach left hand forward, let it land inside the foot just to drop the right knee down. Now reach both arms high. Left knee comes to meet the right. Last time to hook the thumbs overhead, elbows wide, lifting the chest to your degree. And then release it, tabletop pose. Lifting the heart one last time, cow pose. Slow exhale to round the upper back. Drop the head, cat pose. So nice. And then come to a seat. You'll swing your legs around for a moment. Give them a little shake. And then take the soles of your feet together, knees out nice and wide for Baddha Konasana or butterfly pose. Either hold on to your ankles, your shins, sit up tall as you inhale. And then think about tipping your pelvis forward first, then letting your upper back follow, then letting your head drop. So you initiate the fold of the shape from your pelvis rather than just your upper back. Stay for a breath in. Slow exhale out. So nice. And then you'll rise up. So one more final thing as we are in a seat. So just take an easy seat here. We're not here too long, so we don't have to prop ourselves up as much unless you choose to, of course. Just sit up nice and tall here with your hands on your knees for a moment. Take a regular breath in. Open up your mouth. Slow breath out. Awesome. And then see if you can slow down your breath. Maybe even one hand comes to your belly or to your chest again as an anchor. See if you can slowly breathe in for the count of 3. Breathe out for the count of 4. Again, breathe in 3. Breathe out 4. Take about 5 more rounds like this on your own and notice the pause at the top, the quiet at the top. And notice the pause at the bottom as you are empty. Not stressing or straining, just observing, seeing if you can lengthen that inhale. And slow down the exhale. Once you've taken that final round, take a regular breath in, expand, open your mouth, slow exhale out. And if you'd like to stay in a seat for a little bit longer, if this feels good, if it feels grounding, supportive, stay by all means. And if you'd like to make it to your back, go ahead and grab any props, have them nearby that you know you'll want for your final rest. And you'll make your way onto your back here. Maybe one long body stretch. Once you're there, point your toes forward. And take your arms down along your sides. Start to bend your knees and plant your feet just for a moment. Now hug your right knee towards your chest. And create a figure 4 with that right knee. You're going to cross the right ankle over your thigh, like right in that same spot where you press down with your hands, possibly. And so like right by your knee, right? And then you start to think about pressing your right knee slightly forward for reclined pigeon here. So you're creating this figure 4. You can stay with that left foot on the ground, or if you want to intensify a little more, grab behind the left leg. Keep the back of your head on the ground. If it wants to pick up, maybe consider grabbing a block and sliding it underneath so you're not straining the neck. Soften the face. Stay here for 3. Last 2. Final 1. Now keep that structure in the legs, but if you're holding on to that left leg, release and take the arms out to the side. Drop the left foot down to your mat, like where you started. And now your right foot will drop over to the left. You're finding a little twist, maybe even look over to the right. And a long breath in. Slow breath out. Come back to center. And you'll unravel the legs, take what you need, maybe windshield wiper the knees side to side, and you'll hug your left knee in. Create that figure 4, send the left knee forward to start. Stay or hold on to the back of your left leg. No strain in the neck, no strain in the face. Come back to that slow breath in. Ease on your exhale. Not here long, just for 3. 2. Last 1. Again, keep that structure, release the arms, drop the right foot. And then you twist over to the right. So the sole of that left foot comes towards the ground. Maybe look over to the left. Back through center, unravel the legs, maybe hug both knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a well-deserved hug, a squeeze, whatever you need. Take one more big breath in right here. And let your legs go long, let your arms go long. Take one inhale here. Open up your mouth, find that ease from your toes. Up the legs to the hips, your belly, your chest, your shoulders, down the arms, and back of the neck, features of the face, and the top of your head. Give yourself that permission to rest and release and pause. Knowing it's just as important, if not even more important, than movement. Notice just your next incoming breath. And just slowly find a little bit of movement in the fingers and the toes. Maybe even rock your head ever so gently side to side. And start to bend your knees. When you're ready, roll to the side of your choice. See if you can keep your eyes heavy as you bring yourself to a seat. Once you're there, if you need that anchor into this present moment, maybe your hand comes to your heart or your belly. Take a breath in. Slow breath out. And if you'd like, bring your hands together in front of your heart. Bow your chin towards that space. Taking a moment to honor yourself for creating the time, for creating the space in your day, to create space, a little more space in your body, maybe a little more space in between your thoughts. And take your thumb tips to the center of your forehead, maybe even lift your chin, lift your face. Letting this practice be a reminder of how you can be kind to yourself first, and then share that kindness out with others. Namaste.